welcome back, everyone. So, as you can see, I have a special guest here. It's the Miss Chantel Hansbrough herself.
Not the.
Yes, the girl. How have you been? How are you surviving in this pandemic? What's
Man,
up?
I have been good. I will say God is good.
Yes.
God is good. This has definitely been an adjustment, and I
Mhm.
feel like it's a lesson in all of this. Like everybody has their own lesson right now, but God is
Yeah.
being very intentional.
Most definitely, most definitely. So, before we start talking, because this is my girl, so we could just go, go, go.
No, for
I'm
real.
going to, yeah, seriously. I'm going to let her introduce herself. If she misses anything, I'll add it in because she's real humble. But hey, look, I'm about to let y'all know who she really is, but I'm gonna let her
Oh,
introduce herself and tell us a little bit about what it is that she does, what it is that she loves to do, and so yeah, go ahead, Shani. Sorry, y'all.
okay.
I call her
No, it's
Shani.
okay. Shani, also known as Shani.
Yes.
So I'm Chantel Hansbrough, owner of Sweat Now Drip Later Fitness and Nutrition Company. Let me take this one off. Excuse me. Yeah, owner of Sweat Now Drip Later Fitness and Nutrition Company. So basically, like my goal, my company is to create like a holistic approach to fitness. My goal is to change the mindset of the fitness industry. You know, you have diet culture, you have these unrealistic body goals that are set and unrealistic routines, and I'm just trying to bring a more lifestyle approach to it, like something that you can do daily rather than getting ready for an event. Like, summer's coming up. I've been seeing summer bodies are made in the winter, and I want people to change that mindset. Like, first of all, you have to love the body that you have now
Yeah.
before you can even love the body that you're working towards.
Yeah.
But my fitness company, I'm focusing on workouts, full body workouts that are beginner to advanced level. We just working at your own pace, like I said, making it a daily thing. And then I'm also branching out into fitness apparel. I just released my Sweat Now Drip Later waist trainers, which have full coverage. They don't roll down. They help you sweat, promote back support while you cleaning in the house. You can do it while you're working out, walking. It's very useful for a lot of different things. And there's much more to come. So this is only the beginning.
Most definitely. So that was light work. Chantel is amazing. Like for real. So if
Thank
you
you.
haven't, I'm going to put her fitness social media right there. Sweat Now Drip Later. So go
Yeah,
follow her.
please
She's gonna get you
do.
right. Look,
And we
I thought
actually
I
have a giveaway coming up soon. So you definitely want to
so
follow.
go follow now at this moment right now.
Right. Hop off the live
Because
and then come right back.
no, for real. Because she is going to get you right. Like for real, for real. I've seen this girl just soar. Like she set her mind to something and she just did it, and she's passionate about fitness, and I think that's what's the best for me. Like I work out to her videos, y'all. And so
Yes.
her passion and her encouragement and her light is what's really great for me, because I've worked out with a lot of workout videos and I get discouraged, but like she said, it's just like, loving yourself at first, and she's gonna talk to you, baby, in these videos like you can
I'm
do
talking.
it. She gonna push you. So yeah, no, she's amazing. So go follow her. I'm just excited for this. I'm excited for this. She sort of went into a little bit of her journey, but we do talk about mental health here. So,
Yes.
I wanted to get her on to talk about her mental health journey. Like I said, I know her personally, so I know like the grounds that she's made in her life. And so I just want her to share with you all. Let's get started. Shani, how would you define your mental health journey if you could?
mental health was a really big part of how my company got started. I dealt with anxiety and depression, and from there, I was just looking for a healthy coping mechanism. So, I was trying to get right, trying to get snatched. That was my mindset. And, just looking for an outlet to release stress. But as I've like grown in entrepreneurship and, just, growing up as an adult, you really experience some real life situations that will test your mental health.
Yes.
And man, like sometimes you can't even prepare for it. And that's what people have to understand. You can't really prepare for it, which is why I decided to be a, advocate for mental health, especially being a representative for, the Black community because it's swept under the rug so many times. Even though, all races experience it, I wanted to
Yeah.
shine light on it in a relatable aspect to where somebody who looks like me, somebody who has like a sister or auntie, a relatable figure, they can get some advice or they can know like, dang, she experiences it too. I'm not alone. So
Yeah. So, what was like the turning point in your life where you were like, okay, I need to be more conscious about my mind and be more conscious about my making my mind healthy? What was that? When or where were you at when you had that turning point in life?
man, it was definitely sophomore year. I graduated from Prairie View A&M University. So when I was a sophomore, shout out to PV.
Yes.
Sophomore year is when I first started experiencing my mental health issues. Mind you, growing up, I was a very vibrant, funny girl, which I mean, I still am that today. But when I went to college, I just experienced a different version of myself. I became very quiet. I'm not quiet at all. I could talk your ear off. I became, like a mute. I experienced anxiety and also with my public speaking. So that's something that's near and dear to my heart as well. There's one time where I was giving a presentation for one of my classes and I had a panic attack in front of the class. And
Wow.
it was just like such a vulnerable moment happened in front of my peers that I see daily. So it was just like from
Yeah.
there, it was kind of like a wake up call on first educating myself on what it was because I never experienced it, never knew about it because nobody's ever talked about it. And then from there, just basically seeing what I can do. But I didn't really dive into mental health really probably until probably like 2 years ago is when I first started, I guess, doing more research about it. I'm learning
Okay.
so much and how to deal with it. And I believe after the research, it kind of enlightened me to where I wanted to start doing healthy coping mechanisms for myself so I can share it for other people that deal with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely that sophomore year, it was something I've never experienced. Just it was like an out of body experience because you're kind of not yourself in the moment when you're dealing with mental health issues, whether it's anxiety, depression. Um, it's
Yeah.
man, mental health is like it's like an accordion. There's so many
It
different
is.
types
It is.
that it's, man.
It's so many different like realms to mental health, and I don't think, like
Hmm.
you were saying, we have to educate ourselves, especially when it comes to just knowing about you and what you're going through and what you're feeling. And so I heard you say you dealt with anxiety.
Hmm.
um was Do you feel like your anxiety was triggered by something when you in your during your sophomore year, or was it just built up pressure, stress? Do you know?
Hmm. I think it was like a multitude of things, like dealing with stress, switching environments. I went from California to Texas, so that was a culture shock in itself. Also, lack of self esteem, and then kind of when I was in college, that's kind of when I started becoming more involved, and I guess my platform started to grow. So when that started
Yeah.
to grow, I was asked to do more things, and public speaking used to be like my I don't even have a word for it, but it was just like something that I hated doing. And it's just so crazy because God took me from being a mute, like literally freshman year. Like, we never really talked about it, but I know he was like, she's crazy. But like
No.
freshman year, it was like I was a mute.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like God took my vocal cords away from me, and just growing up being so vocal and vibrant, this was so new to where I couldn't really explain it. But
Yeah.
I don't even know what the question was. I apologize.
No, you answered the question. No, seriously, that was the moment where you realized, like, okay, I'm going through something, you know? So yeah, no, you
Hmm.
answered the question. It's crazy. So let's talk about this because Chantel she was very quiet. She was freshman year. I think sophomore year through senior year, we were just like, oh, just amazed, like, who is this person?
No,
Um,
who is she? Like, where does she come from? But it's like this has always been me. I was just dealing with mental health.
Yeah, see, and that's crazy. So let's talk about how did anyone around you at that time notice what you were going through? Or did you have
Mm.
anyone that you went to and was like, look, I'm feeling like this isn't me, you know, like I'm going through this struggle and I can't even vocalize really what it is.
Right. You know what's crazy? I honestly didn't have anybody in my corner like that. Like,
Yeah.
it was, I guess, because I didn't know what it was, I never even spoke about it, and I hid it so well.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what a lot of people don't talk about. People are literally living with high functioning depression, which I want to talk about, so make sure we bring that up.
Yes.
Like, people
Okay.
are living with that and they're masking it up and nobody knows. But honestly, I didn't really have any allies in my corner because I would just mask it. Like, I had friends at the time, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a topic of conversation. Like, I would just, when I'm with them, um I'm normal, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then when I get in my room behind closed doors, I'm breaking down crying, or, I'm isolating myself, things like that. But that, I feel like a lot of people, especially on college campuses, are experiencing that right now. And I feel like organizations have been speaking about it more, which I do appreciate that. And like, even social media, people are talking about it, people are learning about it because a lot of people don't have access to therapy.
Yeah.
And I love TikTok because so many therapists have been using that as a platform, basically giving people free therapy tips. And I think
Yeah.
that's dope. So,
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So you said high functioning depression. You say you want to talk about that, which
yes.
we're gonna touch on that. But what you were talking about, like you were going through it, but you were going through it in a normal way, so no one really could talk to you, right? No one really seen what you were going through. Is that what you were saying?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that's a lot of people's story. Like you said, high functioning depression is real. Like I'm able to put
Hmm.
on this smile for the time being, but inside I'm like screaming.
Right.
So it's super important. How do you feel? Okay, let's talk about high functioning depression before I get to this because I'm about to get excited and jump ahead. So
Now I'll be
what is your
excited too
experience?
because I'll be like,
Look, I know, I'm excited. What is your experience with high functioning depression? And if there's someone out there dealing with high functioning depression, what would you tell them right now?
so my experience with high functioning depression, I am always on the go. Like, when I wake up, it's go time. Like, in my planner, um, I live my life on a time schedule for the most part.
Yeah.
And with high functioning depression, you basically are living on autopilot. Like,
Mm,
you're going through this routine. You're waking up, brushing your teeth, showering, get dressed for work, you go to work. You do phenomenal work. You're probably one of the top performers at work.
wow.
You have friends, you socialize, you do all this, but it's literally a mask, and you're so drained physically,
Yeah.
and you have this like hopelessness mindset that you don't really talk about, and it's masked so much because of the routine that you have. And sometimes the routine can be a mask, or the routine can just be life, which it kind of sucks, especially with entrepreneurship and hustle culture,
Yeah.
because it's like you have to grind.
Mhm.
You have to do all these steps to, make a living for yourself in the world that we live in. And you can't even put your mental health first because you're worried about putting food on the table for your family, or you worried about
Right.
covering rent. So it's like, with high functioning depression, sometimes you don't even realize it until it's kind of like a little too late, which is something I dealt with. I was going so hard for like a year straight with my job, business, social life, that I was literally so stressed to where my body just shut down mid shift one day. And mind you, like, I managed.
Wow.
So I had to literally leave work and call off work for, take some time off. I'm not trying to put my business out there, but take some time off just because my body literally said it shut down, because I didn't listen to the cues when it said, I need rest, I need water,
Yeah.
I need, like, I need those essential things to keep me alive. I wasn't listening. I was just so worried about getting the job done, making sure I'm productive, making sure I show up, making sure, and that's a part of people pleasing as well. So high functioning
Yeah.
depression, man, high functioning depression is really crazy, and a lot of go-getters deal with it, but it's just masked with hustle culture. It's masked with, grind culture, things like that.
Yeah.
But anybody dealing with that, I would definitely tell them to listen to their body. Like, your
Mm.
body speaks to you daily. I don't care.
Yeah.
You have to take that time to really be in tune. Like, what is your body telling you in this moment? Do I need
Right.
rest? Like, do I need a good comforting meal? You could be
Yeah.
you were eating so much restricted foods that your body just want a nice bowl of rice. Like, it's just like, I
Right.
really just want some rice right now. And it's just like, you gotta give that to your body in the moment. If your body needs stretching instead of an intense cardio workout, listen to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like that's one thing that I realized with my fitness company, because I kind of switched my whole brand. If you've been following me, like, I was so body goals, focused on being snatched, but I realized that was stemming from self-hate, which is
Mm.
why a lot of people start working out. You start working out because you don't like your body. You want to get snatched. You want to get ripped for a guy.
Yep.
And you're doing these intense workouts, sometimes without any trainer or any, assistance. You're doing all
Yeah.
these intense workouts, putting so much stress on your body to where your body's going to go in shock, or you can actually potentially injure your body. When basically my goal is just to help people understand that movement can be enjoyable. Like, exercising can be
Yeah.
enjoyable again. Like, if you want to dance for a minute, just dance. That's still exercise. If you want to go for a
Yeah.
walk, that's still exercise. You don't have to go lift 50 pounds for an hour. You don't got to run on the treadmill for an hour just to get the results that you want, because at the end of the day, you won't really stick to it because you're doing it out of a place from self-hate rather than a place from health. And it's just like, you're kind of desiring thinness or even thickness
Yeah.
over health. So,
Mm. All right, well, let's talk about it, because you have studied this thing called intuitive eating, right? And so and so you talked about it a little bit, talking about diet culture and how, some of that stems from this hate that you have within yourself about yourself. So talk about intuitive eating. What is that? Give the audience a little bit of an example of that. How have you applied that to your life, and why? I asked so many
okay.
questions in one. I'm so sorry.
No, it's cool, because I was like, okay, all right, bet. But it's cool. So intuitive eating has changed the game for me. Like I said, I went from let me give you a backstory. I sold Herbalife. I was an Herbalife distributor. Die hard. I drank the shake every day. Good golly, save your money. Okay. I
Okay,
did
thank you.
keto. I did keto. I was the keto killer. I had recipes. I was a diehard for keto. And those are all diets that make you form this dependency on the diet in order to get results. And you don't really learn any nutritional value. You don't learn what your body really likes. You don't learn if you're hungry or if you're full. And also with
Hmm.
intermittent fasting, a clock can't tell you if you're hungry. People are saying that they have this eating window and they don't want to eat past 7 because they feel like they're going to gain weight. Next thing you know, they don't eat past 7, and the next day they didn't satisfy their craving. So now you're gonna binge and overeat on things that you didn't even have to eat if you would have just ate at 7 o'clock. You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just basically trying to get rid of diet culture with my company. But intuitive eating, let me put y'all on game. So
Yes.
intuitive eating is basically eating without guilt or shame. So you eat literally what your body is craving. And I don't say, like, of course I'm still a fitness influencer, health influencer. So this is not just a way to say eat whatever you want and just live your life recklessly. This is saying, like, take ownership back and learn how to trust yourself around food. Like, you can have a burger and you should be able to have a burger and not worry about gaining weight after that. Like, this is something that you genuinely
Yeah.
like. And if you deprive yourself from that for so long, you're gonna basically start binging and then an eating disorder is formed. So that's basically why I started intuitive eating, because I actually have an eating disorder. It's labeled binge eating. So basically what that is, I'll say, for instance, I'm eating restricted or whatever, or I'm on a diet. I feel restricted, and then from there, I just start eating uncontrollably. Or this could even be not on a diet. Binging, this is just from the time you wake up, you're just gonna consume as many calories as you can in one sitting, basically until you feel really uncomfortable or ill. And
Okay.
this was like my dirty little secret for so long. Me being a health influencer, like, but it developed as a child because growing up, I've been on diets for so long. So when my parents would sleep, what I was doing was sneaking in the kitchen, and I'm like, I bring stuff in my room because I want
Yeah.
to eat. Like, in the
Uh-huh.
daytime, I gotta act like I like salads. I gotta act like I just want to eat a smoothie all day. So at night, I'm at the step. Like,
Yeah.
and you create this monster with intuitive eating if you just give yourself what you want in that moment. And in that moment, people have to understand that a meal is just a moment. Like, it's not your entire day.
Got
So with intuitive eating, you follow this. It's a 10 steps in intuitive eating. I've been reading this book. It's very helpful. I could tell you it, so if you want to put it in the description, you can. But it's basically just outlining the steps of intuitive eating, and you follow this hunger scale. So what the hunger scale is on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being like ravenous, all the way to 10 being extremely, you binge eat, you feel extremely sick. So
Yeah.
my goal is always to be mindful enough to track my hunger cues. So like when I'm waking up, I know my body is in a dehydrated state because you
Mhm.
haven't drank any water between 6 and 8 hours. So when you first wake
Yeah.
up, you want to hydrate your body, and then from
Okay.
there you're in tune. Like, what is my body craving today for breakfast? Okay, I want something fruity, so I'll go with either an oatmeal fruit bowl, or you can go with something a little bit more savory with some eggs, you know, a scramble or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But from there, I hear what happened.
But
But
you talked about waking up,
we
your
just
body dehydrated, breakfast, intuitive
we talk
eating.
about being it. Yes,
Yeah.
being in tune. In tune. See, we just be rambling, y'all. We
No,
be
it's
rambling.
okay. It's because this is your life. So it's just like,
It is like I'm
yeah.
just squaring it out. But like I said, being in tune with your hunger levels, like this lets you know. So what I like to really focus on is from 4 to about 8. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because 4 is neutral. No, four
Okay.
is this is your body letting you know, like, I'm getting hungry.
Uh-huh.
Where's the meal coming? 5 is neutral. I'm not really hungry or full. 6, this is you're eating at this point, and your body is starting to digest. And 7, this is you satisfied. 8,
Okay.
you're full. 9, this is Thanksgiving full, and you've unbuttoned your pants at this point. 10,
Okay.
10, you're at the binge level, and you've taken it too far. So
Got you.
when I like literally throughout the day, and this is a constant progression. As I'm saying, like even on my social media, I let my followers know with my transparency. Like this is something I work on daily. Like I love
Yeah.
food. Food does not love me. So
I love it.
I love it. I love it. But things that you want to just be cautious about throughout your day is just rating your hunger scale. Before you eat, you want to ask yourself, reflection questions. Am I eating out of boredom? Am I eating because I'm stressed? Because I'm a really big stress eater. That's where my binging is triggered. If I'm stressed
Yeah.
about anything, I'm like, I need
Yeah.
some chips. I need something. Am I emotional right now? Dealing with certain things, grieving, heartache, things like that. You eat your feelings, and you have to ask
Yeah.
yourself those reflection questions before you eat. So I have like this health journey sticker on my wall. I mean, on my refrigerator. So I like try to ask myself questions before I eat. But that really helps me and slows me down, because I do know that I still have goals. Even though my life is not centered about weight loss, I am still being intentional with my health. But I'm
Yeah.
also still eating some ice cream and a burger every now and then when I want to. So, yeah,
You
it's like a
you just
balance.
you just gave a lot of people hope. I hope
No,
you gave me hope, because I'm like, man, I gotta cut out this, man, I gotta cut out that. But after listening to you, you're like, hey, diet culture is so restrictive, and you're trying to restrict yourself. That's gonna cause even more damage. So it's
hmm
like, I really do need to listen to my body, man. That's something. When you started talking about intuitive eating and being an advocate for intuitive eating, I was like, what is this? This goes against everything that everybody
it goes
talks
against
about.
everything. And it's so funny because, like, people who knew me before, it was like, "Well, you so overload, you did keto," or even like I challenge so many trainers' mindsets now, and then even me being a plus
Yes,
size representation, like I'm telling them basically like you're getting these clients, and you're either gonna make or break their health journey,
yeah,
because people like working in a gym. I hear so many times like people have gym intimidation or gym anxiety. And people are scared, terrified to go into the gym because of, being talked about. But it's just like with
yeah,
trainers, like they have to take a step back. Like you literally have people's lives in your hands. So the
yeah,
information that you're giving them, if you want it to be a positive journey rather than you telling them X, Y, and Z while they trying, on their first workout, you want them to run them out. Like,
yeah.
what they've never done that before. Like, you have to
Right.
learn how to make a sustainable plan for the clients that you have, which is what I plan to do when I do start training again.
Yes. So I am going to put um her personal social media handle up as well. Follow her on
Yes,
Instagram if you haven't already. And then I'm gonna show this is her fitness Instagram, her business Instagram. So follow her if you have not. Um
definitely.
I got one last question for you,
Okay.
and then we're gonna wrap it up. Like I said, we could do this all day
No, for
because
real. Like, I feel like I'm just getting warmed up.
I know, and I promise, because I know that I could go on all day, and I promise, like my husband and Chantel, I was like 30 minutes. I promise. But I
No,
just love
people.
this
I'm
conversation.
having a good time. I'm having a good
Okay.
time.
Okay, cool. If I do too much, you just give me this, or
We good.
So,
We good.
but so let's talk about. I heard you talk about when you were a child, you were on strict diets and stuff like that. So, as a child, looking back now, was there any mental health issues in your family that weren't discussed?
Man, we open it up again.
I know.
And you know what's so crazy? Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I believe was probably passed on because it's not really talked about.
Yeah.
But you develop habits. Who you are is like what you've seen growing up.
Yeah.
So as you become an adult, it's really up to you to want to strip yourself from those habits. But definitely growing up now, like being able to look back on past experiences, things, I definitely seen some signs and noticed some things for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And the beauty about growing up, like she said, like you see the signs, you realize, okay, what was going on in the family in the past, but then you're old enough now to like make a change, be that difference in your family, for your family. So
and for my future family too.
Yes, and for
that's what a lot of people have to think about. I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about this, even on the days where I want to give up, because with social media, you present the best moments of yourself. But even with those, like, I'm doing this for my future self and my future family. Like, I want to set the record to let them know, like, your body is the vessel that you have. So you might have all these dreams. You might want to become a doctor, a singer, entrepreneur, whatever the case might be. You might want to do all those things, but you honestly can't do it if your body is not in a healthy state, because this is the vehicle that's getting everything done. So you just have to put it at a top priority.
Yes, most definitely. So what's coming up in the future? What can we expect? Because I know the girl got something up her sleeve. And you ain't got to share it all. They can follow your social medias, and I know you keep us updated, but you could give us a sneak peek of what you're working on.
You got sneak peek.
Okay.
So like I already said, if you haven't, once you click on my social media page, you want to click the link in my bio. That is my website. On there you can find a little bit more about me and also my business, and also you'll get direct access to my YouTube channel, so you don't even have to click the YouTube app or type in YouTube. Just go on my website, and all of my workouts and educational videos are right there for you. But moving forward, like I said, we have our Sweat Now Drip Later waist trainers, which you definitely want to check out. Kayla just got one. She's going to be working out in it soon. It's definitely changing the game, and I'm using it for a more body positive approach. I know with waist training, the stereotype of snatch waist and everything, but I go from a small to a 4X. It's very comfortable. It does not roll down. It goes all the way from the lower abdominal all the way to the top of your torso. So it's very much so full coverage. And then we're going to be venturing off to some more fitness apparel that I actually designed with a fellow PV alum. And I'm very excited to be. Yes. Basically everything that I've been working on, my goal was to partner with anybody that has went to PV. If you're a photographer, videographer, you made a logo, even my sister, she has worked on some of my designs. I really wanted to work with the people that are in hands reach rather than vertical. So I'm definitely working on the horizontal networking. But moving forward, we're just gonna let God take over. I'm not gonna put too much out there. Stay tuned, and we'll definitely be growing together with my company. So yes.
I'm so excited. So go follow her social media page so you have access to what is going on. She's always on the move, so you don't want to miss it. I thank you so much, Shantel, because I know you just helped a lot of people. You helped me tonight, so I'm so excited about the future. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm like a huge fan, you all, like for real, for real. So go follow her right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any last words
Thank
to the
you.
people?
You know, just be patient with yourself daily. If you're either living with mental health or if you are starting your health journey, be patient with yourself and be kind with yourself. Allow your body to adjust to your goals. We set goals all the time, and our body is still on last week's
Yeah.
chicken, you know? So
Yeah.
allow your mind and body to adjust to the goals that you set. And if you're dealing with mental health, I'm sending you a big hug because it is not easy sometimes, and a lot of people probably don't understand you, but just know that you're not alone and you are loved. Somebody cares about you. So just don't forget that. Like, don't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Thank you all for joining. And we're gonna get out of here. She said it all. All right. So I will see
Hey,
you
thank you
all.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.